I was randomly pulled out of class, military school I'm attending today, which is highly unusual since the general officers don't even interrupt coursework. Some guy in a suit talked to me and said he wanted to meet face to face. It was a really weird interaction. The guy had a creepy, sleazy vibe. He wasn't a CIA operative, and he definitely wasn't a soldier. He never introduced himself and never said why he was talking to me. I think we all know why, though. I'll try to get to the rest of the stories over the next week or two. Screenshot them if you want to keep them for reference. There's a possibility that they'll disappear at some point, and it won't be my doing. Part 3 is David's first interaction with a Neff. They started using them like a war club. I swear to God. Then it started to eat them. Afghanistan 2009. Moments after part 2. Whose turn is it? Lieutenant Colonel Williams says, looking around the massive conference room. LT, I know you must have questions. We'll get to them soon. Fixing his gaze on me. David moves to the front of the room, snapping to attention. I think it's me, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Williams tells him to stop being a smartass and to get started. David smiles and begins his story. There I was, just a young sergeant. It was the summer of 2001. I was on Team 177. They were much cooler than my current teammates, since we were MFF. That's the military freefall. The room boos as Captain Stone throws an empty can of Rip It at David's head. He continues with a smile. These guys were true warriors. I was pretty sure they would find Bin Laden by themselves. I was just a young sergeant, first team. I was in awe. I was invincible. He looks at me with understanding. Anyway, we'd been rolling out on missions for about 6 months. Afghanistan was the Wild West. Limited FOBs and resupply was a bitch. We were running all over the South, running reconnaissance. He uses his fingers to make quotations. We were in and out of Kandahar, which was absolutely overrun by Taliban fighters. Every recon turned into a tactical retreat. Well, after we dropped about 1 million pounds of ordnance, it was like shooting fish in a barrel until the Hajis moved into the caves. We killed a lot of evil sons of bitches. The weird part was that it took them months to move into the caves. It's like they were afraid to go underground, even with predators and B-4s bombing them back to the Stone Age. They just stayed out in the open. I mean, Afghans aren't stupid. They come from a long lineage of fighters. They've been fighting for 2,000 years. They stopped Alexander the Great in his tracks. The Soviet Union got sick of fighting these fuckers. But it was like they lost all tactical bearing. It took them months to move everyone underground, and we didn't understand why. One day, we received a mission to reconnoiter a cave system east of Kandahar. We were told that some Taliban HVT, that's high-value target, was operating a cell in the system of caverns. Air support was unable to penetrate far enough underground to flush them out. We stepped off from a COP, traveling only at night. Iran hadn't snuck in many NVGs out to the terrorist cells at the time, so we were able to move in unimpeded. We followed the Arghandab River for a few days, setting up a patrol base a few clicks from the cave, sending 2-3-man teams out to establish LPs and OPs. That's listening and observation posts. Monitoring the movement in and out of the cave. One of the LP-OP teams came back one night, sprinting into the patrol base, muttering, Rangers. The running password. David looks at me and says, Don't get any ideas. It wasn't you, Slackjaws. It was the baseball team, he said with a grin. He pauses to collect his thoughts and starts again, looking back at the room. So, the 3-man team runs into the patrol base. They look like they just seen a ghost. Jay, one of the Bravos, says, It was fucking eating them. He is breathing heavily and panicked. I ask, "What are you talking about? Calm down." Jay takes a few deep breaths and throws some dip in his bottom lip and starts again. "For 48 hours, we've watched Hajis, armed with AKs and RPGs, go in and out of that cave. There must have been 50 total. A few hours ago, the cave suddenly sounds like it's the 4th of fucking July. We see the Hajis sprinting out of the cave, screaming, stumbling over each other, scared to death, man. Suddenly, there's a loud roar. I swear to God, I felt the ground shake as this thing moved." He paused to spit. "This thing, it comes out of the cave and it's just annihilating the Hajis. It must have been 3 times their size. It's ripping through them like butter. It side swoops a group of them with its arm, knocking them against the wall. It grabs a Haji in each hand and squeezes. Their bodies explode, heads popping off from the force. I swear I could hear their bones break from our position 200 meters away. It grabs one of the fighters, their RPG shooting straight up, snaking off into the distance. It uses the man as a fucking war club. I swear to God, it smashes the fighter's body against half a dozen men before biting him in half and swallowing. The 10 Hajis that were left sprinted out of the cave and into the forests. I'm pretty sure they're still running. Captain Holmes, the team captain, looks Jay in the eyes, waiting for him to say it was all a joke. Nothing. Jay stares back at us, eyes completely glazed over. The other 2 witnesses nod in unison to confirm Jay's story. Captain Holmes stands up, walking away with his radio, speaking to Hire, who informs us to maintain our current position and wait for direction. A couple hours later, Captain Holmes informs us that we're heading to the cave. We're to kill anyone and anything in there. Jay, completely out of character, yells at the captain, "Are you fucking serious? It took down 50 men like it was killing ants." Captain Holmes nods understandingly, only saying, "We leave in 20. David pauses like he's catching something in his throat and starts again. We leave our rucks at the patrol base, camouflaging them as best we can, and head out into the darkness. We walk using our nods because it's fucking pitch black on the mountain. A green haze replaces the darkness. The trees and fallen logs look like shadows. The entire movement, all I can think about is becoming food for some unknown beast. NVGs and lack of sleep makes me hallucinate the entire trip. Everyone in the room nods because we've all been there. Every fucking tree looks like a huge creature. Every branch looks like an arm reaching out for me. We walk down the mountain, Jay leading us to the other LPOP team's position. We find nothing but blood, weapons, and casings. I take point and step into the mouth of the cave, which must be 30 feet tall. We flip our nods up on their mounts and turn on our surefire flashlights, since there wasn't enough ambient light in the cave for the NVGs to be effective. This cave is absolutely massive. We're in a full wedge formation, spread out 60 meters total, and still have room on either side. We step over the arms, legs, and torsos of dead Hajis as we move. I can hear the slosh of pooled blood under my feet. Bones crunch as we step, heel to toe. We see tables and communication gear all within a couple hundred meters of the cave opening. The Hajis were afraid to go deeper, yet our dumbasses were doing just that. We continue walking for at least an hour before the smell overcomes us. It smells like corpses and shit. He looks at us as we nod in unison. He has tears in his eyes and starts again. You'll never forget the first time you feel that fear. It comes over you like a tidal wave, moving from head to toe until your body stops working. I instantly know something is wrong. I try to tell the team to halt, but nothing comes out of my mouth. We instinctively pull in tighter and face outward, our flashlights darting back and forth against the pitch-black walls. I see the ridges of these ancient caves and giant stalagmites. Suddenly, what I think is a wall begins to move. My flashlight catches this enormous beast. It looks like a man, but it's at least 15 feet tall. Its head and its hands look disproportionate to its body. Absolutely massive. It slowly turns its head at me, peeking around a cavern wall, its eyes glowing unnaturally from my flashlight. Smiling, it speaks in ancient Hebrew.
Israelite, I hate his chosen.
With the most menacing look on its face. The evil is nothing you can see on a human, no matter how terrible they are. It bends down and flicks me. I swear to God, it flicks me like a human would flick a bug. The blow knocks me backward and against the wall, the creature laughing so loud that the cavern shakes. The team opens up on the beast. He pauses, as I can hear the regret in David's voice. We are totally unprepared. The entire team shoots en masse. I mean, that's what we were taught our entire lives. It does absolutely nothing. The creature grabs Captain Holmes and throws him against the wall, killing him instantly. It bites down on Jay's neck, snapping his head off in its mouth. Jay's headless body slumps to the floor. Blood pours down its lips, smiling while it chews. It looks at me and says,
Having fun yet, Jew? Where's your god now?
One by one, the team falls. I'm the last one standing, having expanded all of my ammo. I fall to my knees and begin to pray. The ground shakes as it slowly walks towards me, chewing on one of my teammates' arms. The beast is taking its time. It's taunting me. The thing picks me up around the torso, breaking 3 of my ribs and bringing me to eye level. It then says,
I will let you live, because you are weak and useless. You who are made in your God's image, you will remember me when you sleep and you will seek death.
It then tosses me to the floor, knocking the wind out of me. The beast gathers what's left of my team and walks deeper into the cavern. I scream for it to kill me. It just laughs maniacally and disappears into the dark. I spent the next 6 hours walking back to the patrol base. I was finally picked up by a medevac chopper. You know the rest. CIA agents were on board, and they don't let my story see the light of day. They threatened me with prison time and death. All I wanted was to get it onto another team to avenge my brothers. And now I'm here, 5 years later with you assholes. And I did avenge my team. We avenged my team. And for that, I thank you. I'm gonna go have a smoke now.